Hello friends, I am about to present to you 6 different graphs that I hope are really going to help you decide whether you want to buy a home this year or you want to sell your home this year. So let's get started. This is going to be for March of 2025. Here on the first graph, we're going to be analyzing all MLS areas. And this is basically 3 different counties. It's Hayes County, it's going to be Williamson County and Travis County. And this is all combining all the data in all 3 counties on all the MLS areas around Central Texas here in Austin. And hopefully, it's putting everything together for you to understand what the market is doing right now. I'm getting a lot of questions if this is a good time to buy or sell a house. Well, hopefully these 6 graphs are going to help you decide that. So let's get started. All right, here on the first graph, what we see is basically a huge increase in the number of home sales. This is compared to the previous 4 years. So we're comparing against 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So we're looking at the green line right now, and this green line represents 2025 so far. We only have the data up to March of 2025. In a few months, I guess, in a few more weeks, we'll get the data. Once the month of April completes, we will be able to get the data for April as well. And I will be able to do another video for April. But right now, this is only up to March because it's the month is completed and we're able to analyze all the data and provide these statistics to you. So very interesting to see how the market started really slow with a really slow number of home sales here in this 2025. We can see the very small increase between January and February here, but then we see this huge jump from February to March. So good news, I guess. Good news for people wanting to sell their home. Good news for realtors trying to sell their homes. And I guess buyers are really, moving forward now on purchasing a home now, because what we see here is the number of home sales has increased significant between February and March. It's not quite yet what it was in 2024 or 2023 or the previous years, but we're very close to the previous 2 years. So number of home sales are a little bit lower than last year, but it's still, it's a huge improvement compared to last month, February. So I was happy to see these graphs, to be honest. That means the market is kind of picking up again, and hopefully people are really making moves here. So now what we see is the number of home sales is lower, remember, in the previous graphs, but what we see here is the dollar amount, the sales volume. This is in millions of dollars, and we can see we're very, very close to to the previous 2 years, to 2020, 2023 and 2024. So we're basically right there, same as the previous 2 years as far as the dollar amount that gets interchanged between buyers and sellers. So again, I mean, the market is coming back up. I guess that's kind of what I can interpret from the entire all MLS areas here in Central Texas. Now let's look at this. So now we're looking at the median sales price, and the median sales price, it did go up from January to February, and then again from February to March. We are pretty much the same as last year. We're only off by about $2,500 or so difference, a little bit lower than last year, 2024, but it's not by much. It's about $2,000-$3,000 difference. And comparing to 2023, we're talking about a $9,000 difference reduction in the median sales price. So we're not quite like it was in 2023 and 2024, but it's not too bad. We're having high interest rates. There's a lot of uncertainty with what's happening with government and all the new policies and everything that's happening, all the politics around us and affecting the investors and affecting the stock market and affecting the rates. It's not too bad, to be honest. What we're actually seeing on the news, what we're actually seeing happening to the market, we're still not too bad as far as the median sales price goes. So I think we're catching up. I think we're pretty much there as it was last year. So I'm very happy to see that. Here on the next graph, this is the average sales price. So the median, we're a little bit lower than the previous 2 years, but when we look at the average, we're actually higher than 3 out of the last 5 years. So the only year that's higher is 2022, and that's when the market was super crazy and all the homes were selling on the first weekend. We're not there for sure, but we're definitely on the average, we're definitely higher than the past, the past few years here, especially 2023 and 2024. And again, this is analyzing everything from Austin, the Round Rock area, the Austin area, and San Marcos area. This is all MLS areas. Williamson County, Travis County is covering a lot of this central market. It's going to be specific to your neighborhood. It's going to be specific to the city where you're living on. But this hopefully gives you a very good overall picture of what's happening with the market compared to the previous 4 or 5 years. Okay, so here the average sales price actually went up here. So now let's look at the next graph here. Okay, now we have the total number of listings. All right, so this is very good news for buyers, again, because we have more options for buyers, right? There's more negotiation power right now because the more listings are out there, for sale, sellers are going to eventually be willing to take some price reductions or be more open to negotiations during inspections and appraisals and things like that. So this is very good news for buyers. There's a lot of inventory compared to the previous 4 years. So more negotiation power to you. Now what's happening, you do have to still make a move fairly soon, because we have a large number of homes, inventory homes, right? A lot of homes are for sale right now. Well, what will happen when the market picks up and the rates do coming down? Eventually they will come down. And when that happens, well, more buyers that are sitting on the sidelines, they're eventually going to start, jumping back into the market. Well, that's going to drive the number of listings down, right? And then at that point, sellers are not going to be as open, or the builders, right now the builders are offering so many incentives. They're really, I was just looking at some homes for another client this past a few days, and what I'm seeing is interest rates as low as 3.99 fixed for 30 years. Other builders are doing 4.99 fixed. So I mean, and when paying all your closing costs, so builders are offering all these great incentives to you because they have a lot of inventory. The moment that that the homes are flying off the shelf and they don't have that many homes to sell, they're definitely going to be cutting down on on some of the incentives that they're providing to buyers right now. If you are a buyer, I think you should take advantage of this market right now. You can always refinance the rates, 2-3 years from now. A lot of the builders are offering the 2-1 rate buy downs as well. So it's buying you time, to eventually refinance. And then a lot of the lenders are actually offering free refinances as well. So just imagine this scenario. You buy a house right now at a very low price, because compared to the previous years, we're still, the average is still lower than the previous 2 years. So you're buying the home at a lower price. Yes, it's probably going to be a high interest rate, but if you go with the new construction route, then you will be getting, a lot more incentives, a lot more opportunities to have a fixed rate that is much lower than 4%, 3.99 or like 4.99, something like that. So take advantage of that. You can always, even if you don't do that and you buy a resale home at a 6 point, and a quarter or 6.50 points interest rate, well, you can always refinance in a few years. If you do go with the 2-1 rate buy down, it's temporarily reducing those monthly payments for the next 2 years, and then eventually it's going to be fixed for the rest of the year, the 30 years. But then at that point, that lender potentially could do a free refinance for you. So there's a lot of opportunities. Now, if you're a seller, well, good news is that even though with these high interest rates and everything that we're seeing, and with a lot of listings that we're seeing here, just like in the other graph as well, here we can see the total months of inventory. And right now, for this March of 2025, we're sitting at 4.49, so almost 4.5 months of inventory. This is the highest that we have seen in the past 5 years. So for a seller, yes, there's a lot more competition. Okay, buyers do have a lot more negotiation power, but then what? The average or the median sales price is not that low compared to the previous 2 years. So, I guess that's kind of the good news. So if you're thinking about selling your home, then, that could be a good option too, as well, just because, the prices are still coming down. So anyways, friends, well, I hope that this is useful. I hope that you're able to understand what the market is doing, compared to other years. So, and again, this was the market trend, the 5-year market trend for the month of March for all MLS areas. So anywhere from Round Rock, Austin, and south of Austin as well, San Marcos as well. So anyways, I will see you guys next month when I do get the graphs for the month of April, and I'll be seeing you here again. Thank you so much, and please share this video if you find it useful. And if you have any questions about what the market is doing, let me know. I'm always just a phone call or text message away. So I'll see you guys next month. Thank you.